So, continuing with the cleanup of all these parts that you see here that makes up the Honoo. Sanded down as much as I possibly can. I'm not 100% comfortable yet. I think I'm around 90%. This part, like I said before, I sanded it down until it's nice and flush, and now I want to get plow plate, make that design that I said before, and apply it on it. That way it's there. That I'll put to the side, looking at each and every white part here. Some parts I had to assemble because there was no way for me to do this where I can paint it and then assembling it. For an example, it's this one right here and I'm going to refer to. I've already assembled the this part and I sanded it down. There is a hint of a seam mark. I did sand it down more, so hopefully when I apply the primer, it'll cover it. Now, the benefit of this, of course, is you're probably not going to be able to see it because this flap here will cover this. Hopefully, you guys are not going to give me any lip for that. You know that it's still legible for that. It's this part that I think I'm going to leave alone because it's a seam line, but it's almost a symbol. It's almost the same around, you know. It is a design feature that looks the same. I didn't want to put glue and then sand it down to warp the actual formation of this. So I'm going to leave it the way it is. I may glue it and then just apply a little pressure so that way it looks good. Then obviously it's going to be primed, then masked off to paint the red, then masked off again to paint the white. I can't pop it open, unfortunately. This is actually not a big problem. What was a big problem was this, because this was a two-part piece that, as you can see, here's a separation right there. I'm going to glue that and then close it up so that way it doesn't show. This I don't have to worry about. It's when I was behind here that I had a big problem. There was a massive seam line going from here all the way down. It would have been perfect if this was a separate part, but unfortunately it was integrated to the leg. Pain in the ass. So what I did was I glued it, sanded it down here. It is a bit flush now. Sanded this, and using my a smaller but flexible sanding paper, I was sanding down this. Then using the diamond coated file, I began, slowly, cleaning it up, just sanding a little bit more until it was nice. I believe it was okay. Then I used the sanding stick again, and then there's that old technique that if you use this and then just scrape it, you will remove some of the parts, like that. And then it came out pretty good. Hold on, let me see if I can show you a better quality of this. Hold on. Yeah, I'm sorry if the light is not strong enough. You see the seam line there. Hopefully when I prime it, it doesn't show. This came out okay. This one, a bit of a trouble. Hopefully I'm gonna redo it again just in case. And also in here as well. That was a pain in the ass, but I used the this as well. Retouched up the V-fins, of course. That was another chore to do, especially for this one and this one, to clean it up. And I think I pretty much covered everything. I don't see anything else that I'm missing. The blades, of course, those have been taken care of and nice and sanded down. This you can't glue and sand down. This is pretty much conformed to this, so yeah, you're gonna have to. There's no way around this one. I'm not gonna glue this and sand it down because it is more of a panel lining. So that pretty much is it. Okay, so I finished priming all the parts, and I didn't show this on camera, but I painted all the charcoal parts the German gray, which came out pretty good. show you some examples. Yeah. Just barely can see it. You know, obviously this is for the bottom part of the foot. Let me show you something more elaborate. And here is that part that goes on the wings. And I did mention that I was going to put a plow plate here. But then I realized the plow plate that I had was too thick. And if I would have put it on here, I would spend a lot of time sanding it down. I thought I had thinner plow plate, but I did not. So I painted it. Came out okay. There is a seam line here. Seam line. Barely noticeable seam line there. I did the best I could do. I know some people will complain, but we'll leave it the way it is for now. The overall is what I'm going to do next on the kit. Now, I've already applied primer, gray primer on the white parts, and now using standard red color, which I didn't realize I had standard red, I'm going to pre-shade this. So, like I mentioned before, I'm going to do a pre-shading of red. That looks pretty good. Okay, let's try this one. Let's pull out something that we know it's more noticeable. Okay, how about this one? The legs. I think it came out alright. This little part here. This one has a lot more detail here. unusual, of course. It's a different take on this, but I mean, it seems to be a more logical way of doing this based on what I'm seeing, you know, what I'm, how can I say this? What I'm hoping for in this kit. I mean, it is a beautiful kit. Hopefully I make it a lot better. Let's try these two parts, of course. No. Mess up on a few things, but it'll be over. That's no big deal. And then let me do this one. Actually, no, I can't, because this one has to be all painted black here, so I can put on, I'm gonna do alclad on this. So all this will be black, and then do the chrome over it. Then the rest will be white. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave that alone. So, let me continue on with some more parts, and then we'll move on to the next stage.